We're live. It's the 8 a.m. Coffee Podcast. Good morning, Paul. And we have a special guest, Adeem the Artist.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. So, Adeem, we've been kicking off the episodes with guests by asking them, how do you take your coffee?
Normally I take it black, but since the pandemic started, I've been doing like a quarter cup of this Nilly creamer.
Ooh.
So it's like a frothy milkshake drink first thing in the morning with my viddies. That's what I
Yum.
call
Did you say viddies? Is that like vittles?
my vitamins.
Oh.
So I pop off with milkshake and my viddies.
Oh, I gotcha. That's cool. So, Adeem is a local to Knoxville, I guess, musical artist, who's doing a lot of really cool things. But I wanted to kick things off by sharing about how we first met, because years and years ago, there was a music producer, if you will, who said, Asher, I need you to play some drums. Is he? I don't know. He's like, I need you to play some drums on some of these tracks. It's this guy named Adeem, and he's from New York. And I was like, ooh, Adeem from New York, and I get to play drums for him? This is cool. So I played on some tracks of yours for, I don't know, maybe a couple years before we ever actually met. So it was a very strange experience. But then we did finally meet, and we started playing some gigs together, which we don't get to do currently. But yeah, I wanted to hear some of that story from your point of view, because you and that said producer have a unique relationship, right?
That's true. Yeah, I met Dylan on Craigslist. He was on Craigslist.
Right.
Actually, the first time I went over to his house, I texted my friend in New York and I said, I'm going to this weird guy's house. If I don't text you in 10 minutes, like, this is the address to send the police to, you know? And then I walked around back and he was standing on the back porch and it was all dark. And he like lit up, he took a drag from his cigarette and the flame got real hot and he said, "This is where I kill you."
Is this the Dylan that I know?
This is Dylan.
Nope, that's a
No,
very very different Dylan.
Different Dylan. I was like, whoa,
Oh,
wait a minute.
they're all the same one.
They're all like of the same consciousness or something.
Uh,
Yeah, those were.
yeah,
Go ahead.
well,
Go ahead.
so we started working on an album, I guess, pretty quickly. And he was always like giving people songs to play to, and like, so I have no idea what songs you were playing on even.
I don't remember either.
He would just come up with these ideas for things and be like, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah.
That sounds just like him, by the way.
Yeah. He's still doing that.
I like it. Well,
His idea. He like wrote me and was like, you know what, you should ask a bunch of your friends to do their parts and then I'll edit it. I was like, all right.
yeah, I was gonna say that same guy put together a video of a song that you wrote recently that you also played on the news, and I mean it's becoming quite the sensation, right? Which was kind of the idea from the beginning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's called Pandemic Days, and it kind of addresses like a lot of the things that we've been going through. And Adeem, we're trying to stay away from like the negative side of everything that's going on, as we call it in the South with the corona. But I wanted to ask you about some of the more positive things that have been going on with you recently, and cool things that you're doing, like delivering beer and songs.
Yeah. Delivering beers. I've been making pizzas. I've been really updating my island in Animal Crossing. Like mostly those three things, but
Yeah, I love it.
my pizza's really, really good pizza.
Are you talking like you're making them at home, or you like going in like somebody's shop and making them?
I'm making them at home.
All right.
I did just recently get a sticker that says Demos made, and I bought a bunch of boxes and delivered to a couple of neighbors.
Oh, that's sweet.
Incredible.
That's nice.
They look delicious, by the way. And you sent me the recipe. I still have not made it yet. I made a huge batch of cookies last night just
That's
for me.
awesome.
It was supposed to make 48 cookies and it made 29. So I think I did it correctly, but
Sounds like a
but-
good change made.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. They're all the same size, so I don't know what happened. But yeah. So Paul, we haven't actually had an episode since last week. So what's new with you?
Yeah. Oh, tons of things. Nothing in particular. Let's see. We have worked a little bit. We've done a bunch of the family stuff. That's going to be really fun this weekend. Or currently, we are without all of them except for one child.
Nice.
And we're going to pick them up so that they will not be running through like banshees this morning. It is going to be glorious. Where in New York are you from? Sorry, I'm already stuck on the New York train. So I'm like, that's what I got out of the most. I'm like, he's from New York. What? Let's talk.
Oh, I'm from like central New York.
Okay. All right. So. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, there are only two parts of New York. It's either the city or not the city. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that's all there is. So, and usually guys from the city and guys from not in the city are like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, is there like some
And
disagreement there?
No, it's not that there's a disagreement. Like, there's no disagreement. Like, but if I mean, I'm sure he's been to the city, but if I sit here and talk to him about jumping trains and all that and going to work every day, we won't connect.
Oh, I see.
We won't connect. We can connect on the fact that there is more to New York than New York City, and there's more to New York than New York State all day long because, well, that's what people believe. No, life is good, man. Life's really good. We actually had to go to our church yesterday. That was fun. So it was a ghost town. There's nobody there except for like 5 people working. And so Ashley had to do a voiceover. I don't know.
Gotcha.
And something with singing. This is about all I know. I went and hung out with the Dylan that I know, not the one that was. I wish that story was about Dylan that I know. That would have been so great.
I think the guy.
I'm telling you, if the Dylan I knew was standing in the dark, taking a drag off of a cigarette in the back going, this is where I kill you now, you may not be here right now, because that would have been total double life, and it would have happened.
Well, I think the funniest thing about like those two Dylans, if they are two Dylans, is that the story I'm about to tell could have come from either one of them, because when I went to this Dylan's studio to record some things, I'm pretty sure it was with you, Adeem. We were doing like a live video in the guy's like studio basement. So I kept hearing noises coming from above. So there's like, we're in the basement, there's 2 stories above us. And I was like, hey, what's going on up there? And he was like, oh, my wife's up there with her boyfriend. And I'm kind of, like stuck down here in the basement. And I was like, oh, gotcha. And I was like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, we kind of talked about it for a long time, and he just sort of played off this story for the duration of me being there, which was hours, and never told me like what's really going on. And then later I was like, so is Dylan like really living in his basement and like his wife and her boyfriend are upstairs? And Adeem was like, no, he's just making all that up just for fun. And I was like, okay.
I want to hang out with this guy. Like, I really do.
Yeah. He's in Florida now, but I wish I had known how sarcastic he was from the beginning, because he was a fun hang.
Yeah.
One time he when we first started talking, he's like, man, I met this lady. She's like a big music industry lady. Her name's Babs, dude. Like she really wants to work with you. She's worked with like big bands, like like all these people you love. Like you got to work with her. And I was like, I was like really into ministry and stuff back then, so I didn't really. I was like, all right, cool. If it works, if it's God's will, then it's gonna happen. Whatever. I don't And so I called her and I got her voicemail, and it was like this like 80s synth pop was playing, and she was like, "Yo, it's Babs. Leave me a message, and I'll get back to you." Beep, And so I left a message, and then she called me back, but it was on the Sabbath.
Right.
And so I didn't get back to her until the next day, and then Dylan was like, "Man, Babs is like mad that you haven't gotten back to her." This went on for 6 months. Like I played phone tags with this lady named Babs, and then finally we talked, and Dylan was like, "Man, Babs doesn't really think you're into it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And then like the next day, his wife reached out to me on Facebook and was like, "Hey, we need to. I want to get together and talk about." She was like worried about Dylan. She was like, "Let's get to," because he was spending so much money on this dumb album for me. And I think that doing Babs made her realize, like, maybe this guy doesn't really want to do this at all. So I called her to meet up, and it was Babs. It was Babs' number. When I dialed it in, it came up, and she was Babs the whole time.
Right.
So I called him. I was like, "Hey, man, is your wife Babs?" "Oh yeah." Like he'd forgotten the reveal. He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we really got you."
Oh, that's good.
6 months. That's such commitment to a troll, and you both know how much I love trolling. Not as much in my older age, but still a great pastime. Yeah. So, Adeem, I just wanted to talk about some of the cool stuff that you've been doing throughout the old pandemic days. One of them is keeping a Margarita Monday going. Oh, who's that? Is that Jason?
Jason Hanna. As I live and breathe.
Oh my goodness! Look at him.
Asher Coker.
Who's that?
And Paul. Hi, Paul. Hi, Asher.
Hey.
What you got there? You got some coffee? Or is that Backy?
Some tea. Oh, that's Backy. Tea and...
Really making me want to be outside right now.
He's got a great porch, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a porch person. So
Yeah.
It's a bit chilly. Look at Jason's quarantine cut.
I don't think I can see him well enough. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
The sunlight's probably interfering with the vision of.
He's
So,
looking good though. Yeah.
yeah. Who have you been delivering beer with? Like,
Oh, Crafty Bastard Brewery.
yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah.
Nice. And are you delivering like all over Knoxville?
Nope, just West Knox right now. Yeah, actually, no, we just started doing downtown on Sundays.
Oh, cool. Cool.
We're doing West Side Thursdays and downtown Sundays.
I love Crafty West, so it is one of my favorite spots.
Oh,
I
man.
love it. I love it. I love it. It's where we had our grand opening for the food truck. So that was one of the things. But Leslie is awesome. I love her down there. She's great.
Yeah, just the best.
She's so cool. Actually, when we had to stop going there just because our volume, we got so popular so fast and our volume increased. And I just called her and I was like, "Hey, look, I'll commit to the rest of these days that we have originally planned with you, but we're not going to be able to keep coming because we're just doing so much larger volume other places."
Right.
Because I just couldn't accommodate it anymore. And she was like, "Paul, I totally get it. That's cool." And it really was just cool. It was all right. It was cool. Like, so now I just go and consume there whenever they open back up. They're just, I love that place out there. I really do.
What truck is your food truck?
Lanai, we own the Hawaiian one.
Oh, awesome. I've had you guys' noms before.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm usually stuck in the back cooking. What was that?
Leslie has bragged about y'all to me.
She's good people. She's really good. And I mean, like, I appreciate that she loves our food, and I appreciate that you love our food and things. But hopefully, you've heard good things about me before you've heard the good things about the food. So
he sucks.
Yeah, I'm a horrible human being.
Food worth it.
Yeah.
You know, there's that like you want to support because they're such good people.
Yeah.
And then there are other places where it's like, yeah, I know that they're trying to end gay marriage all over the world, but those chicken minis are the best. I would say you're in the latter camp.
Who is that? Is that Popeyes?
Chicken filet.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Man,
Yeah.
I haven't had any of that since the whole circumstances, as they say. I do miss it. I do miss it a little bit. Yeah, what other, like, other than pizza, what kind of food have you been making, Adeem?
That's it, man.
Just pizza.
I do fried rice. I do a pretty good fried rice.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that a lot. And I just started doing enchiladas. Just started getting pretty good at enchiladas.
Man, I want some enchiladas so bad.
So good.
Last week I moved into making my own sauce for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That turned out really good, actually. So I
Nice.
think I'm moving on up in the world of enchilada making.
Ooh, was it a queso? I like enchiladas with queso on top.
Man, I tried to make a queso last time. It did not go well. It was gross.
Yeah.
No, it was just like rainy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I used sand.
That's the big issue,
Here's what's funny is he said it's grainy, and I can already tell you what he did wrong, and already tell you how to fix it. Like that's the first thing that goes to my head. I already know what you did.
Oh, lay it on me.
So it's really not a cheese sauce. It's really a milk-based sauce that you add cheese to. So you actually have to make the bechamel first and then add the cheese afterwards.
I made a roux with milk and butter. I don't know.
Butter and flour.
Yeah, butter and flour.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I added like maybe a half cup of milk, and then I started.
Yeah, you just added too much cheese. That's all you did. You just added too much cheese. That's it. There's nothing else. Actually, what's funny is we had this conversation last night, being Cinco de Mayo, about how there are several people in our household that are lactose intolerant, and it's not like they're gonna die. It's that
No, I'm lactose intolerant.
the house smells. Okay, so but that actual like authentic Mexican food, there's not a lot of dairy in it. There's really not. And however, us people in their north will drink cheese dip through a straw, because I love cheese dip. Like that's my jam right there. I mean, 100%. I'm just looking for things to, like, the chip is a vessel at that point to get it into my mouth, into my face hole. But you know what? I'm gonna go there. I said I wasn't gonna go there, but I'm gonna go there. So have you all experienced with the beer delivery, because I don't know exactly how involved you are with the unreasonable expectations that are going on in the Rona? Like, are people calling in and ordering, and are they so Crafty, their clientele, I don't know how else to say this, but they're super cool and super laid back.
Yeah, cool people.
Like, I mean, so it's not like if I called and ordered beer for delivery and you all showed up and you were like an hour and a half late, I'd be like, all right, they just got busy. Like, I mean, that's really how it is. They got busy. It got here when it got here. And that's how the whole place has always been. And I'm talking even when, like, you're there and, like, all of a sudden they're massively busy on a Thursday. They weren't expecting it. And it's just one bartender behind, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't get to you. Oh, no big deal. Don't worry about it. I mean, and it's the whole place. Like, the whole place is that way.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that, unfortunately, they've lifted all these restrictions, And I think the general population just thinks it's back to normal, and it is not back to normal. And everybody just needs to take a deep breath and give everybody some breaks. I mean, even with us, like our truck, dude, we opened the other day in a neighborhood and we had a line of 100 people in line. And the last person in line was like, well, why did it take so long? And I'm like, what do you think we are, man? So,
was the line 600 feet long with proper social distancing?
Dude, legitimately, it was half a mile long. Like legit, half a mile.
Way.
Yeah, like it was far. They were trying to figure out a way to coil the line so it would stay in the cul-de-sac. And I was like, you realize it's like a 6 foot diameter. No, is that a radius?
Circumference,
yes, that
like
one.
around.
Well, it's like if you're in the middle of it, a 6 foot radius.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So, anyways, I just want everybody to say, take a deep breath. Cook for your mom on Mother's Day if your mother's still around. Do not take her out to eat. You will hardly ever hear that from me because restaurants are going to get crushed this Sunday. It's Super Bowl.
Yeah, we all want to take our moms to Ruth's Chris, right? Is that right? I'm just kidding.
Everyone hates Ruth's Chris right now.
What were you asking about the beer delivery though?
So beer delivery, you're doing West Knoxville, but you're getting out, you're like jumping out and playing, right? Is that what I've seen?
Yeah, for better or worse.
Dude, that's so awesome.
It seems to be pretty cool. I think I'm suspecting it will become less awesome this month for the same thing you're talking about. Like, I think a lot of people have the attitude that like things are back to normal. So like, my son is trying to find my cat, who he calls Nunu. I'm just giving some context. You look really mad. Yeah, I think that's becoming a prevalent attitude here. Like everything's back to normal. It's all fine. And
yeah,
in other states, they're like doubling down on restrictions.
Yeah, way to go, Mississippi.
It's just it's crazy to see the difference between like I had to go to the post office and like nobody's wearing masks and they had like plexiglass between like me and the person at the counter and they were standing to the side of the plexiglass like, just fight the safety precautions.
Oh my gosh.
There are people boycotting Costco because they have to wear a mask. I'm not joking with you. I'm like, what? Like, and I'm a person that's wearing masks. I know how to change my gloves out. Like, I'm being super precautionary, all those things. And and then you got another guy like walking down the aisle, holding the cart, licking his fingers, and then going back to like, and I'm like, what's the point in all this, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
no kidding.
If he's licking his fingers, I say let him. And I love that you just said, I know how to change my gloves out, because that's not something that most people know how to do. We've all come to realize, which is hilarious to me.
Also, you don't have to wear your mask in your car. I'm just going to say that really loudly.
I do it sometimes because I have one mask I love you, baby. That's really hard to get on.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like if I'm going to somewhere like close to North Knoxville, I'm like, I'm not going to wrestle with this thing in the car.
Oh yeah. Like go ahead and do it.
It's got like you got it behind, and then you got to pull it and tuck it up and tie it on top. And so
can you give us a demonstration? I'm just kidding.
I actually ordered some that they have the filters on them, but they're like the workout bicycle ones, and then they go around your ears and they Velcro behind your head.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
They look like, I mean, they're like $35. However, this isn't going to end anytime soon, like this mask thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's just. Well, also, just very quickly, you cannot get mad at Colin Kaepernick and yet protest on state buildings with guns at the same time. And so I don't even care if you agree with Colin Kaepernick or disagree with him. But
you promised this show wouldn't get political.
It's not political. It's not political. It's not political.
It's just.
I'm just saying you gotta. No. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't have it both ways, and that is probably my biggest grief with anybody ever. Now, however, I will say this: they did open Disney in China. They are opening Disney in China, May 9th.
Interesting.
Yes. I've already been informed that most likely we are not going in June, even if they open.
What, to China? No, you mean to Disney World in the United States.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long time before I go back to China, boys.
I don't think we won't get political, I promise, but I don't think Trump would let you fly to China.
Last time I was in China was like 4 years ago.
Like
so.
he would show up in person and be like, "Hey, you can't fly to China." You know.
I'm a self-ascribed leftist. I'm pretty sure Trump's sending us all to China. Like,
Well, now that he couldn't buy Greenland. Anyway, no, I just, you know, it is funny how you say, though, there are people doubling and tripling down on regulations. And then there's like us, who's like, whatever you want to do, just go ahead.
y'all want to go to El Charo's tonight?
Oh my gosh, the El Charo's video was scary.
What is El Charo? Tell me the El Charo video, please.
It was something that I think you might have shared, Adeem, or somebody shared on Facebook, and
Yeah.
there were so many people there. I mean, I think they definitely had the tables spaced out a little bit more, but it was from yesterday. Like, there were people there from Cinco de Mayo, I guess, and
Oh, baby.
it was packed, and just having a party, like crazy. Just so many people there.
And obviously I went, but
Obviously, you had to take the video somehow, you know.
and that's what's report on this stuff.
No mask, you know. Let's be a person of the people here.
No,
I mean, like, look,
Free
if
step.
I mean, and see, and I very quickly flip to the other side, which is, if it's going to happen to you, do whatever you want. My issues go, though, it affects so many other people.
Yeah.
You know, that is where it's at, really. Anyways.
Yeah.
I also love the fact that I can see us in your glasses. I really do.
Oh,
It
that's
is like
cool.
my favorite. It's my favorite thing right now. So,
I sit outside and I can't find my regular glasses. These are actually prescription sunglasses. I'm not trying to brag.
oh, those are nice then. Hey, so what's obviously you're a very involved father, which I absolutely love and think is awesome. What is your favorite thing about being a dad? I really want to ask people that all the time. So,
Like, you know, sometimes you're sitting in the chair and then my toddler climbed up onto my lap and then he steps like on my ball.
yeah, just one.
That's the best.
If that's your favorite thing, I can't wait to hear your second favorite thing.
No, I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, we've been playing a lot, especially, you know, lately. That's one thing that's been really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a self-employed musician, so I'm usually home during the day anyway, for the most part.
Yeah.
But now I'm not leaving around bedtime to go sing songs in bars, and so we've been coming up with some new games. I introduced him to Star Wars this week. Which
Cool.
he's pretty ambivalent about.
Mm-hmm.
He
So
loves
far.
Yoda.
Loves Yoda.
That's it. Yeah.
You know,
He kept saying like, I want Yoda, and I'd turn it on and be like, I'm gonna watch Bluey.
yeah. So you know, there was May the 4th because Asher here is such a Star Wars fanatic and loves the movies so much that he can appreciate the ones that are horrible.
So they
so
say.
May the 4th. And then yesterday was Revenge of the Fifth, and then today is
What's today?
Lord of the Sixth.
Oh, okay.
You know, fourth,
Okay.
sixth. There you go. I was trying to be funny, and you don't find it funny, and it's okay.
I just don't keep
I
up.
get it. It's all right.
I don't keep up with the numbers. One of my students on Monday was like, "May the 4th be with you," and I was like, "Oh man, I've been missing this opportunity like literally all day." It was my last lesson, so you know, I do love Star Wars though. Adeem and I were just texting about Star Wars yesterday, and for anyone watching and listening, The Last Jedi is great. and if you give it a chance, you can appreciate it. Just really, really dig in there, you know.
I think it's my favorite in the new trilogy.
I would agree, 100%. It's not just a remake of, you know, A New Hope, and it introduces some more complicated ideas. So, of course, I love it. It's a little bit of a troll.
My wife saw the Skywalker for the first time last night.
Yeah, is she a fan?
And she loved it, so I spent, you know, I did what any happy couple does, and I spent a good 30 minutes explaining to her why it was bad, and she stuck to her guns.
Yeah,
she stuck to her guns. So I started working on her again this morning. We'll get there, but.
Well, like my sister and brother-in-law went and saw it. I still haven't seen it, the Rise of Skywalker. And I was like, "Did you all like it?" And they kind of like almost sheepishly, they're like, "Yeah, it was great. It was super fun. Like it's a super fun watch, you know." And they're like, "Yeah, there's a bunch of things, you know, we would change about it or that were quote wrong with it, but I think that's what I've loved, even with the original trilogy, is like if I'm going to watch one of those, it's going to be fun, you know, even if it's, what's his name, Hayden Christensen or Jar Jar Binks or whatever, really, really screwing the pooch for everybody else.
No Jar Jar from Skywalker.
That's good. Didn't make the comeback, right? He wasn't one of the Jedi voices, like, speaking to Rey.
Do you have Disney Plus?
No, not currently.
Yes.
You should watch the new Star Wars. I think it's worth it. I really do.
I love Disney Plus though. So
yeah,
mainly because I can, you know, like on Netflix, if we throw the remote at the kid, you know, to kids, hey, what's up, man? To have them babysit, you know, the TV babysit our children.
Right, right.
We can't just be like watch whatever, but on Disney Plus, you can just be like watch whatever. Here you go.
Yeah.
Go for it. You know, they can watch anything from Glory Road to Gordon Ramsay not cursing and cooking in random places.
That's interesting.
No, he does like you would really enjoy that show. He goes to like super exotic places.
Oh, and cooks for
finds
people?
out their local cuisine.
Yeah.
Finds their local cuisine and then turns that into like his food and stuff like that. It's really cool.
What's that one called? Because I saw one years ago where he was like cooking for somebody and it was like a local Korean dish or something, and he was like visibly nervous about whether or not he was going to enjoy what he cooked because he wasn't like comfortable with it.
He's a good actor.
Sure.
No,
he got me.
I think Uncharted or something like that. I don't really know.
Okay. So,
but like it was a really good show. They have one about Hawaii on there, so I liked it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, by the way, Hawaii's I don't know if you saw this. Speaking of the Rona, Hawaii, if you fly in from any state, anywhere, like including the mainland, they put you in quarantine for 14 days, like they do the dogs.
Oh my god!
Like you fly in, they put you in quarantine for 14 days and then let you out.
All right, let's go.
And, yeah. They're like, no, you're not. You can come here for vacation, but you better come 3 weeks early. Otherwise, you're not enjoying your vacation. like straight up, they're like, no, you're going to a hospital for 2 weeks and sitting there.
Holy crap!
And then you can go out.
Dude, that's wild.
Well, but I mean, they have no other states touching them. They're able to do this. So I mean, no one's rowing a boat to Hawaii. So.
Agree to disagree.
Man, if anybody rows a boat to Hawaii, they're champs. They just get in. They're automatically in. Like
they don't have to be quarantined. Like you have to be healthy. You didn't catch corona in the middle of the Pacific.
Yes, it's the Pacific.
Nailed it. Geography.
Yeah.
So
it's really close to the edge of the Earth. So like it's really close to the edge.
It's right on the edge of the flat Earth. It's like the last thing before you just fall off. It would be really fun if 8 a.m. Coffee took a hard stance on like supporting flat Earth.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Just see what happens.
There's a point in time that I thought it might be real.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I read some articles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like there's some things you can't disagree with. Like
I'll also say there's no way for me to know. Like there are so many things going on out there that like I'll never have the proof of, or the proof of not, or whatever. So,
Well, there are plenty of NBA superstars that believe it is, so I think it's real. And then, I don't know. I'm trying to, I mean, like, how is the flat Earth not real when murdering hornets are on its way?
I was telling Paul yesterday, we watched the news and they were talking about the murder hornets, and then they say all this scary stuff about it, and then at the end of it, like Tom Yamas is on there and he's like, by the way, it's probably gonna be fine with the murder hornets. Like, he didn't say it that way, but the whole gist was like, don't freak out about the murder hornets. Like, you're probably not gonna die or get stung or ever see one.
Why are they called murder hornets?
It's because they kill honeybees.
Why can't they just be called murder hornets?
I don't know. This is like shave ice and shaved ice, but Adeem, we've got to move past it, Paul. We just don't have time, okay?
Sorry, everyone. I had to charge my phone because it started to die.
Oh, no,
you're good, man.
I do have a couple music questions for you. We had Kelsey Walker, another famous local artist, as you are, on recently.
She's a great musician, but
she what
terrible
now?
person.
Oh, yeah.
Like Paul.
She's a horrible person.
But we asked her, instead of like what influenced you, or what do you what do you put into your music? Like, what are some things that you get out of music as an artist and as a listener and a performer? Ooh, I like those.
Sometimes people pay me in weed.
Uh-huh.
What else?
That's something you take from it.
I don't know. It's kind of an existential question, I guess, right?
It really is, yeah.
I mean, I think that's something I've been going through a lot lately. As somebody who, I have a family to feed with my craft.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't do it for the money.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like, it is a thing where I'm trying to come up with a calculated plan for my music as a career that makes sense and will provide for my family, because I don't have time to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I could go get a job doing something else, but I'm not doing this stuff anymore. I spend so many hours on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And now that things have changed in such a weird way, it's like, I don't know, it's become really really challenging. Like if I'm not really making money, and if nobody's really making money, and if we all can kind of agree at least a little bit that money doesn't mean anything and nothing nothing actually makes sense, then it's like, why am I doing what I'm doing? And I think on one level, it's how I process things. It's how I've processed things since I was a teenager. I can kind of, I think that there's an unconsciousness that's really privy to the struggles that you're dealing with, even when you're not maybe aware of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I remember being a kid and always being like, I know what these feelings are, but I don't know why I'm having these feelings, because I can't really prescribe the experiences that I'm having that are giving me these feelings.
Right.
And so you can kind of pour those feelings into song, and maybe your unconscious begins to open up about the things that are causing you to have those feelings that you don't really realize. And so that's kind of one thing that I find now, is that I can write a song to work through some feelings that I'm having, and my unconscious will start to kind of like speak to me with images about that kind of draw some connections for me. And then I go, oh, this is what's going on right now. This is the anniversary of this thing. And like all these things sort of co-align with what's going on with that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's part of why I do it, and part of what I get out of it.
It's cool that you say that about like kind of, well, what I took out of what you said was like putting words to feelings a little bit, or even being able to think through them, because like Paul and I have talked about Enneagram stuff fairly recently, and a lot of that knowledge has shown me that I'm very in touch with how I feel, but I'm not always in touch with what I think. And I know a lot of people wouldn't really talk about the difference there necessarily, but like I know when I'm feeling happy or if I'm angry, but I don't necessarily know why. Like it takes a lot for me to like think through, wait, what was the trigger point for whatever's going on right now? And that's where I think I draw some similar things out of song that kind of put words to like, well, maybe this is why like that's happening, you know?
Yeah. I've had many conversations with myself, like at the end of the night, where I'm just like, what the hell happened with that person today? It made that so uncomfortable for me that I never want to see them again.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
What was it? What just happened?
Yeah.
It was pleasant enough. So yeah, definitely relate to knowing your feelings before being able to contextualize why they're there.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. What? Yeah. Go ahead.
And then the other thing is, I mean, I started doing these beer deliveries, kind of on a whim. My friend Leslie kind of mentioned like, hey, we're talking about doing this thing. And I was like, heck yeah, I'd like to go out this week. And then it was so great. Just like giving people a little spark of like joy. And I do the Margarita Monday thing, and it was the same thing. I think all of us are experiencing simultaneously the winding down of the live stream algorithm as Facebook adjusts to like, wait a minute, these people are doing well.
Yeah.
That's getting throttled a lot.
Man, real quick, it's really funny you say that, because like at a certain point 2 weeks ago, we were getting tons and tons of views, and it's like visibly gone down. And I was like, I wonder if this is a Facebook thing. But
It's gotta be.
yeah, I think so for sure.
My first Margarita Monday, I had over 70 people watching at once.
I remember.
For like 3.5 hours. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Down to like 10, 15, you know. And that can't be because of my talent level.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So I would say, anyway, I would say that's the other thing is like, I do feel like I've done drywall work, I've done construction work, I've done like a lot of different jobs. And at the end of the day, like I sometimes feel lazy for trying to go around doing that type of work, which feels more tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get $150 for like a day's labor, and that feels like a tangible number that makes sense. Like that's what my labor's worth. I gave them a solid 8 or 9 hours. Whereas with music, it's like really elastic. It's like I'm doing this for you, and I'm kind of trusting you to decide what it's worth. And depending on, you know, where you're at in life, maybe it's worth more or less. And right now it seems like it's worth more to people, you know, to some extent. But
which is really cool, by the way.
It is. But the reason I mentioned it is because, like, at the end of the day, it's like, this is what I'm good at, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not good at a lot of things, but this is kind of like, I don't know that anybody's like, I don't know that I believe in like the concept of calling like I did before, but I still believe that like I spent about 20 years working really hard at doing this thing, and that's not nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I mean? So yeah, I found a lot of meaning in filling that hole and being able to kind of, I don't know, be a jackass. That's my 2 swears, I think.
Yeah, I gave you different ones, but I mean, hell and ass and damn are, you know, they're not part of the non-TV curse words censorship wise.
Oh.
So
yeah.
I mean, don't go too crazy, but
I still have 2 left. Yeah, no, I think that's been. I mean, I think that's why Margarita Monday was so nice for people, especially in the beginning, was because like you turn on the news and it's like, I don't know, a deluge of terror.
right.
And the Facebook feed is like, I mean, even when I agree with people, it's like, oh my God, why are you so angry about everything all the time? I mean, I am too, you know. I've got to like turn my brain off in order not to be mad at everything.
Yeah.
And so it's like just to have like a section of the week set aside where it's just like, you want to hear the dumbest songs of all time, sung by the dumbest person of all time? Well, I'm here. You know, it's just good to be silly and whimsical, and I think that it's a real service.
Yeah, for sure. And then you have me in the chat just demanding any song by Shakira, which, you know, it's okay that it hasn't happened yet, but I will persevere for sure.
I will persevere. Nevertheless, he persisted.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll work, buddy.
What's that?
I'll work on Shakira for you, buddy.
Okay, you know, I'm not saying She Wolf is my favorite song of all time, but I'm not saying that it isn't. So, what's been your favorite moment so far, doing like the deliveries and the Margarita Monday and playing music for people recently since the Rona?
My favorite moment?
Yeah. Can you even pick just one?
I don't know. It's a bit of a cluster memory. You know what I mean? We're doing the same thing over and over again, and it kind of becomes like one experience in your mind. It's too much dead air, right?
No.
Kick him off the line. Get rid of this guy.
This is Joe Rogan, basically, you know, just long form, whatever pops into our heads kind of thing, with a little bit of direction, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think there have been a couple of times where I've seen like, just want to show you guys my situation. Sorry, I dropped my phone there for a second. I think that I've had a couple moments of like real sort of emotional frailty with people, you know, where you start to see that things are really hard. You know, people are like pacing and they're visibly stressed out.
Yeah.
And I have anxiety pretty bad, and I have anxiety tics, and you know, I've got like a little twitch in my eye, and my hand starts to do this number, and I start to pull up my shirt, and and I've started to have a panic attack. In the Kroger, for example, when I'm wearing a mask and gloves and children are brushing up against my legs, I start to do these things in angst that I'm going to give them the Rona. And so I've seen that with people where you can tell that like the beer and song is coming as an interruption in what is clearly a really, really difficult day.
Yeah.
Way that music can kind of like draw you out of that, at least for a few minutes.
Right.
Kind of remind, you know, because that's one hard thing for me is, this is my anniversary this week, and so I've been really thinking a lot about how much my life resembles the life that I dreamt of for so long. You know, I like live in a cute little house in North Knoxville with my wife and my son, and we've got like a garden, and we're making food together and playing games together, and teaching the kid how to play Mario Party. He's not great at it. He doesn't really.
It's an easy win for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to bolster my own. Yeah. So, but you know, on a day like not to be too glib or to paint myself as like a victim or a money swindler.
Yeah.
But like times I have like a Margarita Monday where I don't make hardly any money or even a beer delivery, like just doesn't work out very well. And at the end of the day, these are the bills that are coming up. How am I going to pay these bills? Like those are moments that really take me out of my peace. And I'm like, I got to hustle. I got to figure this out. We got to come up with some new thing, you know? And in those moments, like I really start to panic and think that life is ending. And, you know, it's so easy to kind of like rise above that if I put my mind to it and realize like, man, I'm still sitting right in the middle of like where I always hoped I would be.
Yeah. That's cool.
And I think that music gives you the ability to time travel, you know, like I found that on the cruise ship. Like somebody would ask me to play Brown Eyed Girl, and I'd be like, ugh, God, Brown Eyed Girl again. And then you play it, and it's like you just see like a lifetime of different people in the person that requested that song. You know,
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden they're in high school and they're having their first kiss, and you know what I mean. The songs that have become like, I don't know, barroom cover tunes to me because of my age are like. I mean, I'm already seeing that. Like, people are doing, like, in the bar, you see people doing Fall Out Boy and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
Like, oh, no. You know, like,
yeah. I was like 25 when Fall Out Boy was big. So thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I just
Appreciate that. Thanks.
I'm saying, like,
Reminds me of my mid-20s. Yeah, we're good.
what I'm saying is there are songs from the early aughts that, like, people in their, like, late teens, early 20s are going to think of their whole life as, like, shitty cover songs that they heard in the bar. That's all they're going to be to them. They're not going to have any, like even what you're saying, you still have a memory of Fall Out Boy, like, being on the radio.
Sure,
you know?
Sure.
They don't. It's just a cover song in a bar. Like, there's going to come a point where people have heard people do bad renditions for people our age more than they've heard the original song.
Yeah. Yeah. I just love that thought because I get stuck in really negative feeling nostalgia sometimes, but I think like having something like Margarita Monday where it's a lot of people experiencing that all together, I think is cool. Like it's a little better than me just like being by myself and hearing a song and thinking like, oh man, like I don't even know what I think in those moments. It's like that was a cool time. I wish I could relive that experience where I first heard that song. But there's something about like the bar thing or the Facebook Live where there's a lot of people and it's like, oh, this is like really fun, even though I've heard this song a million times, you know?
Yeah, something you said that I actually, even though we've talked about music and all this, something you said that really made me think was you were like, this is where I've envisioned my life always being. And it's pretty cool to be like, yo, this has always been my goal. And here it is.
Yeah.
Here's I'm sitting in the middle of it. And I don't know, maybe even I'm just going to talk on a personal level because just for me, it's like, whoa, this is where I always wanted to be. I've had the time to slow down and realize I've got it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, whoa, I don't need to hustle so hard. I got what I'm here. I'm here. Like slow down just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to continually go for it because I'm a fairly ambitious human being. Like I just am. I'm very goal oriented. Once I achieve a goal, I'm after the next one and everything. And I don't know, you know, I mean, not to go anywhere deep or anything like that. I've just taken the time to enjoy the fruits of the labor.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it really, I mean, it's like, okay, because we could be, in all honesty, food truck life, we are knocking it out of the park in this. Like, we are so busy, it's not funny. Like, it really is, which is a blessing, and it actually makes me. And when we're off air, we'll talk a little bit more because I don't want to like put anything out there right now. But you know, some other ideas have come to my head, like how can we help other people?
Right.
You know, how can we, you know, because of our popularity, and that's great. How can we be more beneficial to society as a whole, or even individuals, or even families that are like, hey, I didn't have anything like we're good, but there might be people that aren't, you know, kind of thing. But we've gone, you know, I very well could be like, I'm going to work 5 days a week, 6 days a week, and we're going to double and triple and all that. And then it was actually one of my kids, I was getting ready to go to work and they were like, oh, you're not going to be here for dinner tonight. And it was like, man, pump the brakes hard. So, you know, we're only working 2-3 days a week. In all honesty, because it's enough. And that really is what it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you talk about music and food and everything, those are all art and crafts and at the same time. But if you don't get paid to do it, it's just a hobby. And for us, it's a career. and it looks a little different to a lot of people because they don't understand it. They don't understand how do you make money doing something that everybody else can do. Well, first of all, you can do it. Can you do it well? Because those are two different things.
Good point.
Because I can sing not well at all. Pretty sure the infant has a better voice than me. But in all seriousness, if you're not getting paid, it's just a hobby. And it really is. And we've all chosen to do professions that are not, there is no pay scale for this. There is no, like, I mean, you can be a musician in a local bar that's paid professionally and make, I don't know how much you guys get paid for a gig. What, 150, 200, 400, 500 bucks
a night? It's mostly the 500 or 600 or 700. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I really don't know. And this is coming from a novice. I mean, if I roll into Wild Wing and look at the guys on stage, I'm like, oh, they're making $1,000 tonight, which is probably not true whatsoever. Or you're selling out arenas and making, $100,000 a night.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is no scale for that because that person was probably doing the small bar at the same time, and it's just like food. Like, why do you pay more for a piece of chicken at one place than you do another place? Well, it's because of the perceived talent and the perceived value of it.
Sure.
It's not necessarily better. I'll be straight up with you. It's not, no, our fish.
You done the Popeyes Chick-fil-A sandwich taste test?
I
still haven't had the Popeyes yet. But I've heard
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard it's amazing. But and there's a Popeyes really close to my house and I should probably go, but it's in a truck stop and it scares me.
The Popeyes sandwich is good.
But I mean, like it really is a, not to go deep and philosophical, but a pump the brakes. Like, I mean, I'm spending more time at home and I love it. Like, I really do. Like, we've been trying to push Lanai towards brick and mortar so hard, so fast next year that I'm like, maybe 2022 is okay. Maybe another year.
Yeah.
Maybe another two. It's going to be fine. We're doing well, and I think, honestly, and I wish we had a ton of viewers right now because I've said this for a long time that money doesn't matter. Once your bills are paid, money doesn't matter. Once you have what you need, not what you want, but what you need, money doesn't matter. Because, I mean, like, being able to sit down and have dinner and hang out and honestly do this in the morning, like I'm working, this is not happening. All of these things have meant more to me than anything that can be bought. And it really is, like, I don't know. It's the not having to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the market and not, I mean, I love those things, but at the same time, I can love them a little less and put some other things in place.
Sure.
So I'm glad you said that. I really am, like, glad you said, hey, I've got my house and I've got my garden and I've got my family and I've got my porch. You may not have said porch, but I'm going to say porch for you. I love that porch. I'm just going to be flat out. Like if there wasn't social distancing, I'd be bringing you an 8 p.m. beer and sitting on that porch. Because I'm in North Knoxville. I love North Knoxville. So even though we live in the valley,
right,
Valley of the Hardin. Try to make it sound like really good.
What are you, a Metapod? Pokemon
I had
joke.
a kid in one of our small groups that I was leading, that he told me that he was so thug because he represented the streets of West Knoxville.
Oh God.
And I was like, dude, you took a snapshot.
I'm trying to figure out. Sorry.
And dude, the kid went to Webb. All right.
Oh,
He's trying
dude.
to be like, I'm hard. I'm like, no.
Those kids are crazy.
No, you're not. You're not. Listen to me, bro. Like, you're not. I graduated from Fulton. Like, you're hard. You're not hard at all. Like, so, anyways, that's my going deep. That's deep thoughts.
Deep
by Paul Moody.
Going deep.
Can you imagine like a Dead Prez lyric like Kingston Pike?
Oh man,
I love it. Well, we're coming to the end of our time here, and Adeem, we are super thankful that you've joined us. Is there gosh,
Yeah.
what day is this? For some reason I thought it was Monday, and I really wanted to highlight Margarita Monday, but it is in fact
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Winning in its day.
True, and it might be a rainy one, but yeah, where can people find you and support you and all of those fun things?
Yeah, so my website's adeemtheartist.com for my original music. I am doing just to do the lame plug at the end of the podcast
Do
thing.
it. Worth it.
Do it.
On Thursdays, I'm delivering in West Knoxville with Crafty Bastard. On
Thirsty
Sundays, I'm
Thursdays.
delivering downtown with Crafty Bastard, and then every Saturday in May, I'm doing a new thing called Yard Tours, where basically for $10 you can order me to come to your yard and sing a song. Do you hear this cat? Good lord!
That's the cat.
You gotta chill, dude. Oh my gosh! For $10, I'll come to your yard and sing a song, and it's. I did my first one last Saturday, and now each Saturday this month is a different side of town. So I think this Saturday is South Knox, and then I'm doing East, West, and then North Knox
Cool.
in kind of consecutive order. And you can go to adeemtheartist.com/yard tour to order those or follow my yard tour schedule.
Yeah.
That's sorry, I don't know if this is a. Can I plug? Should I? We
You can plug whatever you want.
Plug all of it.
Plug all of it.
That's
What are you plugging?
Oh, the yard tour.
Oh, okay.
Oh! I thought there was more. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Keep going.
My new song "Pandemic Days" is out on iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is that on
Yeah.
Is that on YouTube?
It is on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
The video.
Give them the Apple Tunes, Apple iTunes.
Yeah, I was gonna post that as a separate thing later, and people can go watch that as well. Mostly because I'm trying to find it on YouTube right now. But yeah, it was super fun to be a part of. By the way, and thank you for having me do a little drums on it.
Heck yeah, man! Thank you so much for being a part of that. I want to do some more stuff like that if you're interested. I feel like I got some more songs brewing. I've been putting off this album for a long time, and that one turned out so good that it's like, I don't know, maybe we just do more songs that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's super fun too, and to be able to just record here. One thing that I noticed that I'll definitely change for the future is maybe not just staring like down the whole time and concentrating and not looking happy, because I was super happy doing it and it didn't come across at all in the video. It was just like, man, that drummer is like, he's pissed about something.
That's the whole video. I was just like, why is he so mad? That's all I could think about.
I was like, just cut me out of it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more, and yeah, it'll be a fun time. We'll see what happens. We'll do a song about the spike, and then the eventual return to the new normal or something. I don't know. We'll just do a whole pandemic series
The
here.
song about the spike.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. All right, cool. Any
Not a fun song.
Yeah, exactly. I'll look down and look pissed for that one as well. Yeah, any closing thoughts from Adeem or Paul?
It's good to meet you, Paul.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Nice to chat. Let's have a porch beer when things return to normal.
Yes.
Oh, your porch is big enough to have 6 feet.
True. We don't have to wait.
I'll just park the food truck in front of your house. There are no rules.
Deal. We have ramen.
No. What's that?
We have Ramen Bones. Is like a couple of houses down from us.
Oh,
You know?
I love her. She's great. She's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hannah's favorite food truck. So whenever we go on walks, Isaac goes, "Mama's Ramen Truck." Like, yeah, bud.
No, she's super awesome. So I really I enjoy her food so much, but she is also just such a great person, and her mom is bananas, and I love it. So she's funny. She's a fun person. So
It must be strange to have a mom who is an actual bunch of bananas. But on that note, we'll go ahead and end things here, and we will see you all. We're going to check back in on Friday.
Friday.
So tune in with us super duper early, and we'll see you then.
All right.